Welcome to the Too Posh Podcast.
I am Gabrielle. I'm a former New York Mafia princess, originally from Austria. I am the mother of 3 and the owner of Too Posh Boutique, and here with my beautiful co-host, Marcella, my daughter.
Hello, I'm Marcella. I'm a dancer, choreographer, model, and designer for Too Posh, and I say whatever the I want.
Hi, my name is Cruz. I am a stylist. I also own the Society Salon in the Design District, and I am a short little Mexican with a big personality.
What will they say next? Welcome to the Too Posh Podcast.
Welcome, everybody, and we also welcome Gino, who is joining us co-hosting by popular request.
I'm here all day.
Yeah.
And we are doing something that I have wanted to do for 5 years. I don't know why we have never done it before, but Michael Zavala, owner of MC Studios, where we are recording for the last 5 years. Thank you for being with us.
Well, thank you for having me. I wasn't famous enough for 5 years. That's why.
yes, you
Whatever. I think it's like the people right in front of you, you don't think about. It's like they're always just right there. But I have wanted to ask you so many questions. And I remember the very first day we first met you when Patrick decided that we should have a podcast, and we met with you. And wow, what a journey it's been, huh?
I know. I can't believe it's been 5 years.
I can't either.
Yeah,
We were in that little bitty shoebox, and now we're here, and
I know.
it feels like it's been like that.
Yeah.
Feels like it's been like that. And then tell us a little bit about your life. I want to know a little how you were born and grew up and how you got to be doing this. And Marcella and I would talk about what an incredible radio voice you have.
Yeah.
It's just so cool.
It's all manufactured. We have a lot of effects back here. No, so I grew up here in Dallas and always loved radio. Our TV broke at some point, and I loved cartoons. And my mom decided to, instead of buying a new TV, that she would just get us, she would have no TV for a little bit. And so I used to listen to a lot of like cartoons. I'd record cartoons on like little cassette tapes and listen to them. And then like old comedy radio shows. And I loved audio. And so I started dabbling into audio. I convinced my grandparents to buy me like some audio equipment and started messing around with that. And then just kind of did some radio spots and did some like voiceover work when I was a kid, and kind of continued that all on until adulthood. So
Wow, it's crazy you did that so young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just liked it. It was just something, I think I have like Asperger's or something, you know, when you get really into one thing and you just focus on that. I think I have that.
It's also something some people just know what they want to do and then become extremely successful.
Yeah. Or it could be that too. Yeah.
One of the two.
Yeah.
Almost diagnosing himself.
Yeah. It was on WebMD.
Can you change your accent?
No, I can't do the accent.
No?
No. I wish I could. That's
Me
one thing I'm
too.
really bad at, is changing the accent.
I wish I could do a different accent just for fun.
Marcella can
I can
that.
do British. Me and Jolie talk like this all the time.
See, that's good. I wish I could do that.
Yeah, me and her would talk like this. We call each other and we do it in front of people. And sometimes we pretend like we're British in public. And so we talk like this so that people ask us where we're from.
That is so good.
That's really
good. Wow.
It's really funny when they do it together. It's
Yeah, we call
hilarious.
ourselves British twins.
I'm not a triplet.
Part of it.
Gino tries, and we're like, no.
That's pretty bad.
I wanted to do voices for a living for a little bit.
Did you
I
really?
my plan when I was 18 was I was going to move to LA, and I was going to do voices during the day for animation, and then do comedy at night. That was my goal.
Wow.
Like
And then-
comedy, like
Like
stand-up
comedy. So
No,
I did
you
stand-up
do that?
comedy when I used to, yeah.
What?
So, but then because I did everything's been based in comedy my whole life. And so I thought, well, the next evolution is to do stand-up comedy. And I liked it, but it just wasn't for me. It didn't give me that fulfillment that I wanted. So I always kind of came back to this side of stuff, like
Isn't
radio
that
and
so
whatever.
hard, stand-up comedy?
It is. I mean,
I
it's
feel like
not
it's
fun.
so
I mean, it is
hard.
fun, but it's not.
Yeah.
I feel like that must be one of the hardest jobs to, like, you never know the group of people you're going to get.
Right.
And what
Especially
if,
starting off.
oh my
Oh.
gosh. I always watch and I just can't imagine doing that. I
But
could
it's
never.
also like one of my best friends was so funny. Like she was a literal comedian. Like everybody would laugh. And I would always ask her, why don't you do stand-up comedy? She goes, because then now it's like I'm
Work.
I have to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
just
it's
naturally.
really
It felt like
funny.
a job.
Yeah.
And that was my biggest thing is like a lot of comedians that you see, I'm friends with a lot of comedians and they're doing the same joke they've done for 10 or 15 years. And I can't do that.
Yeah.
Right? Like I have to write new stuff, but it's so hard to write it and it becomes a job because you get to perform on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So
Right.
You have to be funny.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's why I didn't like that pressure. I didn't like writing jokes. I'm also not a guy that can just stand up and, hey, look at me, let me tell you jokes. I like to work as a team with people and just kind of be a character in the mix. And so that's more fulfilling to me. So this kind of, I always fell back into, radio or podcasting or, creating characters or things like that.
I mean, could you have imagined years ago when you first started this that podcasts would blow up like that?
What's funny is I always wanted to be, when I was a little kid, I always loved being in radio stations and like recording studios. And I always thought it'd be cool to have one of these one day because I liked all the buttons and the stuff like that, right?
It does look cool.
Yeah, it just looked cool. I didn't know what anything did, but it looked cool. And as I grew up, it was kind of in the back of my mind. I'd like to have a studio, but no one was thinking podcasting was ever going to be a thing or what we're doing right now, right? So
Yeah.
I always thought, well, it's going to be a music studio. But then I had friends that had music studios. And what sucks is somebody pays you for 2 weeks at the music studio to sit there and play their crappy song, and you have to listen to it over and over and over again.
Oh.
On my head sounds like hell, so I don't want to do that. And so the studio came about just because we kind of fell into it. And then I woke up one day and thinking, this is what I used to think about when I was a little kid. And I've been doing this my whole life, and it just sort of happened. So no one thought about it. Like there was no actual plan. I didn't manifest it or put it in, try to do it. It just happened. So it's crazy.
When I first met you 5 years ago, how many shows did you have?
Oh, I have no idea. Probably maybe 4 a week or something like that.
And now?
We do probably close to 20 or 25 in studio, and then we do post-production work for maybe about the same amount or more.
Wow.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
No,
And we're
that's
just-
incredible.
We're still growing. And again, this never was the goal, right? We were just kind of just messing around, and then sometimes things work out.
Just doing something you love.
Yeah, it's a place of passion. I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
So all the pictures, not that anybody can see them there's pictures in the studio kind of trimmed around. And go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go ahead. I just was wondering, did you have a podcast before?
He has a podcast for years called MZ Now.
Before there was podcasting is
Yeah.
what I'm
Yeah,
trying to
so
ask.
we've been doing this for, what year is this? 2023. So we've been doing this since 2006.
Wow.
So however, but it's been 3 different iterations, and then we had a TV show in the mix too. So the pictures, we have them strategically placed above the camera line here, but they're kind of like different moments in the history of the show. Unfortunately, we don't have pictures of stuff back in 2006, but this is like some of that's from the TV show, some of that's from bits that we did. So like the current show we do now is MZ Now, but we've had like 2 other shows before that and then a television show in the mix.
So in 2006, though, was it called podcasting?
No.
Oh,
We were
what
just
would that
doing
be?
we were doing radio back then. So we
Okay.
were syndicated. So we did a radio show
Got it.
online and on terrestrial radio. So we would do a show on a Friday, Saturday, and then it would go out at that point to affiliates, and they would play it later on during the week.
Got
so
it.
AM stations and stuff like that.
Got it. That's
Oh,
what I was
wow.
asking.
That's so cool. I didn't even know that.
So we did that for a long time, and then kind of podcasting was kind of like the guy in his mom's basement type thing, playing Dungeons and Dragons or something like that.
Yeah.
And so we didn't want to be affiliated with that, but here we are today, and that's what everyone's doing, and it's probably the most lucrative and best way to really get yourself out there. And
So-
radio's dying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so funny too because I feel like you've been doing that since 2006. We did it for 5 years ago, and I remember saying we were doing it, and somebody's like, "What is a podcast?
Yeah.
What is that? What do you do with that?" I'm like, talk. I don't know.
Yeah. You have had different co-hosts too, right?
Oh yeah, we've had I have no idea how many co-hosts we've had over the years, but it kind of changes throughout the show. You know, some people, I like to say we're like the Saturday Night Live of Dallas because we get a lot of people in, and then it's kind of a launching pad because we've had people that left the show and are now news anchors in like New York City and
Really?
actors and you know, they've moved to LA and stuff like that. So they kind of come to my show and they kind of flesh out their character or what they're trying to do. They'll stay for a few years and then they kind of bounce to do something big. So I feel like I'm Lorne Michaels where you just kind of just stay and play. Like I'm just going to get older and older and be on the sidelines and then watching all these people come through. So it is cool. That's also given us, that was an added benefit that we've been able to see so many talented people come through and kind of see what they're doing today. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, Chris Sapphire was
Yeah.
from the circle, right?
Yeah. He was, when we were casting the new show at the time was MZ Live, which was going to be our live show, but we were going to do, that was going to be the first show we've done that wasn't radio and it was just going to be online. And that was 2009 we started it, but 2008 is when we did the casting call for it, and he was the first person I cast.
Really?
And we met at a restaurant where like 15 people said they were going to show up, so we rented this whole room and had all these chairs and stuff, and Chris was the only one to show up. And then about 5 minutes later, after we were starting, this lady in a fairy dress showed up. It was like the block party going on in Oaklawn, and I didn't know what was going on. And she was like, "Yeah, I'm here for the thing." And she goes, "But I can't stay for it." And so anyway, she ended up leaving. And so Chris was the only one there, and we hit it off, and we've been friends and worked together ever since.
That's awesome. I want to know about what you are doing in the future with the studio, because you told me that last week, and it was the last time we saw you. And that's like amazing. Tell people what you're doing.
I feel like everything's moving. I think podcasting is still always going to be there, but I think it's all kind of it's a piece of a bigger block, essentially. So we're going to move to do more content creation, especially for business people who, let's say you're a real estate agent and you've got to brand yourself. You can pay a bunch of money to studios or a camera guy to shoot a bunch of stuff, but then you got to edit it and post it and stuff. So we're going to kind of move to take that spot away. So if you're an insurance agent or something like that needs to brand themselves, we're going to offer services to businesses like that and try to help them out with their podcasting and just their content creation overall. And so I feel like that's the way everything's going. Everyone's going to be a media studio or a media company in a sense, whether you're a personality or a business. So having that strictly for small businesses, I think we're going to be our next. The studio kind of grows as I grow in certain things, and so I feel like that's what I would want if I was in that position. So that's what we're going to fill, that need. So that's kind of what we're doing.
That's really smart. There's a lot of need for that.
Yeah, and I don't think there's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of podcast studios popping up over the last few years, but everyone's doing it as a money grab because podcasts are so popular, and we're doing it as it's always been passion. Yeah, we make money from it, but it's always been a passion, and so we're in the boat. We're seeing the waves. We see where the needs are. We're not just we're podcasters and content creators too, so we're in the trenches with everybody else. So if we see a wave coming that we think everyone should know about or that we can help out people with, then that's where we're going to go. And I think that's been why we've been so successful for all these years. There's been a lot of studios that have come and gone since we've been around, and we're still here. Even though we're kind of slow and steady, we've been steady at least.
Wasn't that
steady.
quote, slow and steady wins the race?
We're the tortoise.
Yeah.
But the thing that is so awesome about you is you are, besides being extremely fair on your pricing, your quality is incredible. You are extremely loyal. I feel like you create a family.
We try to, yeah.
And everything is top notch. If you need something done, he does it immediately. It's kind of like, wow, that is so easy. So anyone that wants to start a podcast or do anything like what he said he's going to do, you should definitely come to MC Studios in Dallas, for sure.
Thank you.
What has been your most interesting or favorite guest or most famous guests you have interviewed in all your life?
It's changed a lot over the years. I'm a big Star Trek fan because I like the idea that humans get it right and we don't destroy everything. And that's kind of what Star Trek is. It's like we figured things out and, we're trying to help other people do the same. Mm-hmm. So a lot of Star Trek, I've pretty much interviewed everyone on Star Trek. William Shatner was my big one that I didn't think I was ever going to be able to do, but we got him
you
2 years ago. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, and he told me to do cocaine, or cocoa, I said. That was the whole thing.
Oh, my God.
But Leonard Nimoy, before he passed away, who played Spock, we had him. So those two are like a personal favorite of mine, but we've interviewed. And
Did they come in the studio? Or was it?
No, it was all on phone.
Okay.
And then they were promoting usually events that they were doing in town, and then we would go to the events and then get autographs to the wall and stuff. Like Shatner's got we've got about 15 things in this studio that Shatner has signed throughout the years.
What happened with that prop thing with him? What was that whole story?
The prop thing.
The prop gun. Was that not him?
Oh, no, you're thinking of Alec Baldwin.
Alec Baldwin.
Yeah.
Oh.
Never cut that.
That wasn't
Cut
a
that.
prop.
Now, we have not had Alec Baldwin on the show.
Okay.
No, we've had everyone like Bill Nye. We've had Kevin Costner. We had Bob Saget. A lot of people, especially during the pandemic, were doing a lot of radio stuff. And,
Kevin Costner?
Kevin Costner was on.
Really?
Yep, he messed up my name on the liner we had him do for me.
Oh, no.
And he's an actor.
What'd he say?
I think he screwed up the whole line and said it backwards, and we had to make him do it again. And I'm like,
Oh
you're
my
an
God.
you're an Academy Award-winning actor. No, he's a real nice guy. And then we've had like Christopher Lloyd, basically anybody I've ever wanted to meet or looked up to in the entertainment world, we've had on.
Wow, Michael.
And that's kind of that's what I was looking for. Like, I'm not I don't care about Tom Cruise. You know what I mean? Like, I would say a modern day actor, but he's kind of an older actor. Give me a modern day actor like
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt. I like his movies, but I don't really have anything to ask him. So
I
I'm
see.
not really interested in talking to him. But a William Shatner who's 91 or 92 years old, who's been able to keep a career his entire life,
See that old already?
Yes.
Wow,
Wow.
really?
and he went to space.
Yes. And
He
Wow.
looks amazing.
He does.
Uh-huh.
And he's so active.
Right. And so I'm thinking to myself, if I'm 91 at some point, I want to remember what he was doing at 91 and talk to him about this. So I look up to people like that who have longevity and who have figured out a way to, maintain their celebrityness, I guess, throughout the years.
Wow.
Can we get Bill Nye to debate?
I was thinking about
David?
that.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that.
Wow, what a show that would be.
That'd be
Yeah.
fun. That'd be far out.
Who would win?
Wow, that's very interesting. I did not know you had all those people.
Yeah,
on.
a lot of the
That's
people on the
very
wall in the hallway here, not everybody, but we put up a lot of the bigger names in there if we can get their autographs in time. Some people unfortunately pass before we can get their autographs.
cool. Oh my
but
gosh.
Like
no.
Ed Asner, we interviewed him a few months before
You
he died.
did.
And sounded like he was close to it when we talked to him.
Oh no.
He was coughing up a lung pretty heavy.
Oh
but,
my gosh.
But yeah, a lot of cool people over the years. We don't do as many interviews currently. Like this year, we're not planning on doing a whole lot of interviews this year, just because we're in a redirection phase, I guess. And,
Yeah.
And we're producing our own stuff. So, but it's always fun to do.
That is really, really cool. I know I want to start with this before I go to the next thing, but I know that you had a horrible accident.
Mhm.
Tell us about your accident.
My life-changing accident.
Yeah.
I was in a scooter accident, 2018, I think. Labor Day. I was in Deep Ellum, and I don't like scooters or anything like that because I know myself. I know I was going to probably get hurt, but I was with somebody who said that I should get on it, and they kept forcing me on kind of peer pressuring me onto the scooter, and where we were going was not that far, and we got on the scooter, and I fell off, going very slowly, by the way. I wasn't, I'm not
I was
trying to
about
be.
to ask that.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to be like Evel Knievel or anything. I was being very cautious and very slow. Almost to the point where the thing was like not even moving anymore because I was going that
Really?
slow. Yeah. And then we were crossing a street. All I was doing was just crossing the street, and I went over a manhole cover, and how you get ready, if you're riding a bike or
Mhm.
something, you kind of lose your balance, fall over. Well, that's what happened. And I get back up, pull the scooter up, and something just feels weird. I'm not in pain or anything, but something just feels weird. And I stand up, and then I fall right back over again. And I'm like, something's not right. And I reach down, and I could feel my bones don't feel like they should. My bones ain't boning.
Oh my gosh.
And so then I pulled myself out of the street, and it turned out I shattered it in like 16 different places. and
What?
yeah, it was a bad deal.
So
Like your
bad.
shin or what part
Yeah,
of your leg?
So the the tibia and the fibia,
Uh-huh.
the small one, whatever one that is, I snapped in half, which that happens.
Yeah.
And then the big one was the one that like collapsed from the torsion, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So you didn't hurt though? That didn't hurt?
I think I was so much in shock that
Okay.
I couldn't feel the pain. I did start to like sweat, and then I asked a homeless man for a drink of water because he's "Are you all right?" I was like, "No, I think I broke my leg. Do you have a bottle of water that I could just drink?" So I was really thirsty. And he goes, "No, man, I'm not giving you a drink of water." And then he walked off. And I was in my head, I'm thinking to myself, I've given you 25 cents every time I see you in Deep Ellum, and you can't give me a bottle of water. But
Wow.
no, he just left me there, high and dry.
But you were by yourself? No, that's just...
No, my friend came back.
Okay.
They were on the scooter way down the street.
Oh, okay.
And
okay.
then they had seen that what had happened and came back. And then, we called. I wanted to ride in an ambulance because I'd never been in an ambulance before, and I figured this would be a good opportunity to ride an ambulance. And he said, no, we're going to call an Uber. And the smallest Uber showed up.
Oh my!
And they got me in the back.
Oh.
And the Uber driver gave me a drink of her water, though.
Oh, nice.
Or her Coke or whatever she had. She's like a QT cup. And I said, I'm so thirsty. Do you have any water? And she was like, here. And it was like, had been sitting all day, so you had the ice was melting. And
Good God.
But it was the best thing I ever had.
Wow.
Backwash.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like that scene from The Town.
Yeah.
Jeremy Renner.
She was real nice, though. She did come, and she came back and checked in on me, like as we were, later on that night. And she poked her head in the little
No way.
examination
nice.
room, and she was real nice.
So
But I think she stole my wallet or keys or something, because I have my keys, because to this day I haven't found my original set of keys. And she just ran off, and I think I maybe left them in the back of her Uber.
I was actually wondering why you didn't start dating her.
She was about 50 years old, and just not my type.
Not
yeah.
the type.
Yeah, you're right.
All right.
Yeah.
So tell us about your recovery, because that was brutal. You couldn't even leave your house.
Yeah, I was like recliner bound for about 3 or 4 months, I think.
What?
And because I was supposed to stay off it for like 3 months, I couldn't put any weight on the leg. They had to put rods and stuff in.
They didn't give you another scooter?
They didn't give me a scooter. They trusted me on crutches. I'm like, I couldn't even ride a scooter. You're going to trust me with crutches? I had like a walker for a little bit. I kind of went from a walker to crutches to a cane.
Oh my God.
And then after that, when I got in the cane, I was pretty mobile. It was a little bit slower, but I get mobile. And then I think I was in physical therapy for maybe a year or so.
Oh yeah, it was such a bad injury.
Good
And
God.
it was crazy.
So
But
go ahead.
I would say
sorry.
the great thing is we were still able to keep the studio up and running because we had just implemented some new technology that I had just bought
Wow.
like 2 months before, and that would allow me to remote in and do some stuff. So I would literally, I was coming out of like operations, had 2 operations. I came out of operations like still like foggy, but I could still log in and work. I asked somebody to give me my laptop. They give me my laptop, and I can't even read the stuff on the screen, but I was working and doing editing and work. We still had a show to put out. We still had stuff in backlog. So I was always working. I'm like a workaholic when that comes to that stuff.
Wow.
That is
I
incredible.
don't know many people who would do that.
Did
No.
they say why your leg broke that bad from such a?
They think it's and since then I've seen videos of people like skateboarding or whatever and kind of had a similar situation. It's like the torque of like the momentum of you going forward and your foot, because I was trying to stop the fall, so I put my leg out to sort of stop the fall. And I guess since the torque of the scooter and then maybe how I bent, it just like it's like a stick.
Oh my gosh, like a wishbone.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Freak accident.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I've seen videos since of other people doing the exact same thing. It hurts to watch, but I'm like, oh, that makes sense. So.
Do you have photos of like X-rays and stuff?
Oh
like
yeah,
that?
yeah,
Can we put that in the
yeah.
video?
If I can find them. I didn't look at my leg for 3 months
Oh yeah, I would not be able to either.
because it was just I didn't want to look at it because then it would hurt more in my
Yes,
head.
Yeah.
yes, I can understand that totally.
So if I had to take a shower, I would call somebody in and I would cover up and I'd have them just rinse down the leg because I didn't want to look at the leg.
Mm.
I didn't want anything to do with it.
I feel it.
I
would
disowned
be
it.
the same. I disowned the leg.
It's not my leg right now.
Wow. So then you actually went on the Steve Harvey,
Yeah, Judge Steve Harvey.
show.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
So we had there was an ad that came out like during lockdown about on Instagram. Somebody had sent to me that said we're looking for people injured in a scooter accident. Want to hear your story?
Did it really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
It's very
know that.
specific about that. I think they were looking for me.
Like, what are the odds of
Yeah.
that?
I know. I did not
A
know that.
bunch of people.
Yeah. And somebody had said they said we saw this and we thought it was a casting company, and I was like, oh, I'm not doing anything. We're in the middle of lockdown, and so I sent it in, and like a week later we started getting calls. It was a year process to get on the show, but we got on the show, and I was suing for my out of pocket. I mean, thankfully I had insurance, but I was suing for my out of pocket expenses, and you'll have to watch the show to see what happened. That's a
Yeah.
plug. Yeah.
Plug to where? Plug us where?
Judge Steve Harvey, season 1, episode 8.
Oh.
I'm not only the face of the episode. The line that I came up with for my entry,
Yeah.
or my introductory thing, they use as the show title.
What is it?
What?
Break a leg.
What was it? It was if you cause the wreck, you write the check, something like that.
No way.
Yeah, and they used it as the main thing. My face is like the thumbnail art for it. It was on Hulu. I think they took it down because they had a 6-month contract with Hulu.
That's so cool.
But season 2 of Judge Steve Harvey is about to come out. They just filmed it a few months ago, so it'll come out sometime this year. So I'm sure that'll pop back up somewhere.
Right.
That is so cool.
The show is cool. I watched it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
What's your favorite thing to talk about on your show?
Oh, everything.
Everything?
Yeah, we do. We're kind of retooling a little bit just for strategic purposes. We're doing more like TV shows or movies or things that we were like. Because if I go to brunch, that's what I'm talking about with my friends. You know, did you watch this? Did you catch that? What do you think about that? And so it's really just the show is really just me giving my opinion on whatever's going on, essentially.
How many people are on your show?
There's 5 people all together. We rotate people in and out. We'll bring in like last week we had a friend of the show come in and just kind of hang out. Like I like to have a lot of people just because I like the energy of everything.
Yeah.
And so or somebody's out sick, we'll have somebody come in. So we're always kind of interchanging the cast out. But there's like a good solid 5 that are usually on.
That's cool though. Keeps it entertaining.
Yeah. And then tell us about your character you created. You have created several characters in the past, but
I love characters.
This one now specifically is like really
it's taken off. So yeah, I've done characters my whole life. Like I said, everything I do is rooted in comedy, but it's hard to do as you get older. It's hard to like in high school. It's easy to do characters. You show up at like a high school party or something like that. You come in as doing a character a bit. But like as you get older, you can't really do that, or people think you're weird. So the characters we do are like one-off characters on the radio show, and they just kind of live for that bit and then they disappear. But this character I get to do now, is a lot of fun, and we have found its home. So during the pandemic, I was on social media a lot more, and I would see people. We all have either friends or family that are like this, where it's the guy with the baseball hat and the big sunglasses, and they're sitting in their truck, and they're always talking about conspiracy theories and what's wrong with America, and they know how to fix it and all that kind of stuff. Which is funny to me because I know these guys, right? And they know how to fix America, but they're on their 5th marriage. You know, they're behind on the child support. Like they don't know how to fix their own lives, but they can fix America. And so I always thought that was a funny kind of like oxymoron type deal, and I always wanted to kind of do a character about that. And then during the lockdown, a lot of these guys I saw more and more on my feed. And so I'm like, I got to make a character about this. So I went on Amazon and bought a costume that I thought would work. And it's more of an extreme, like right-wing, conspiracy theorist guy. And I did a video that was just like on a Sunday morning one day, and we put it up. And a lot of people liked it. And it actually started getting really some good traction, especially in Russia.
What?
Yeah. So a lot of the traffic was coming from Russia. And so YouTube shadow banned it, which means that you can't search for it. You have to like go to the page and look for it. So, but I didn't care if anybody saw it or not. It was just something I needed to do on my own because I thought it was just funny to do. And somebody was like, "You should do more with this character." And I'm like, "Well, I don't know what else." Like, it was fun to do that. I don't know what else to do. And then when it got shadow banned, I'm like, "Well, if this character was a real guy, he would make another video talking about how
he got
shadow banned and he's against all this. The media companies are against him and all that." So then we shot another like just absolute ridiculous video where I'm throwing this balloon dummy around in this really shady park somewhere around here, and had to roll down a mountain with it. It was a whole thing. And we just try to keep that character alive. We just still really didn't know what we were going to do with it. And then it wasn't until last year when the whole Andrew Tate stuff started coming out.
Yeah.
And he was saying stuff that I thought was funny in my opinion because it's just so ridiculous. Some of the stuff he was saying. And I thought, well, that's a perfect avenue for my character, Patriot Pete, who would be like the redneck Andrew Tate. And so we in October.
Redneck Andrew Tate.
Yeah. And so in October, we just shot for like 45 minutes, just a bunch of these little shorts, just just wild stuff, whatever. We were just pitching ideas and we'd shoot it right away. And we started putting that online. And then by early November, videos started to pick up and go viral. Like in, I think 6 weeks, we had like 5 million views across all platforms with this one character. And so like we found its avenue, right? So then we haven't shot anything new until a couple of weeks ago when we decided we're going to do a short podcast with it so we can get more content and still push it out, but also try to push more long form with this guy. And it's working really well. In fact, we're shooting 2 more episodes tomorrow with him. So
With him, he's
Yeah.
talking like it was not even him.
well, it's because it's
It's
two different
know.
minds.
It's
Like
really
I can't
crazy.
writing for Patriot Pete is so difficult when I'm not in the getup.
What?
I have to
like,
be-
for real?
You
Yeah.
have to dress up.
I
I
have
can
to-
see that. It's like your alter ego.
Yeah.
You can't be him.
gotta
unless
be in
you're
character.
I can't think that ridiculous until I make. So I had to. It's a whole process. So tomorrow, for like 10 minutes, I'll get dressed. I'll probably be listening to some country music, which I hate country music. That helps me get in the character. And then we'll start. I'll put the little dip in. He dips. The character dips. I
Oh
don't.
my God.
But it's not real dip. It's a little. It's just shredded beef jerky and Coke Zero.
Nice.
But I'll start doing that, and I'll start getting it. And then once that character clicks in, it's a totally different mindset. And I can sit here all day and just come up with wacky stuff that I couldn't come up with. Like we've been trying to write these 2 episodes for 2 weeks, and I've got some notes, but it'll all flesh out tomorrow.
Wow.
Like once
Heath
I'm gonna get
Ledger
it.
when he
Yeah,
rolled the
that's
Joker.
that's my Joker.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm sending dead rats to
Method-
people and stuff like
method
that.
acting.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
That is really awesome. It's like you're a drag.
Yeah, it kind of is. In fact, we have an idea. I don't know if we'll ever do this, but I had an idea of like, the problem with drag in America. Patriot Pete investigates video, right? And so from the top up, from the neck up, he's Patriot Pete with the mustache and the hat and the glasses. And then from the neck down, he's in drag. And he's trying
Oh.
to infiltrate the drag. We have a lot of drag friends. So
Yes. You,
Get Jeffrey back on the show.
Justin?
Yeah.
Jeffrey.
Cut.
yeah, I know. I've been trying to do something with Justin for a long time. So
Well, we saw him last night, and it just
Mhm.
made me think of that because he said he's shy unless
He's
he's
in
in
drag.
drag.
yeah, I can see that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and it kind of gives you that alter ego. So that made me think of your
Mhm.
Patriot Pete.
Yeah.
I can see that though.
Mhm. That's funny though. What great ideas! I can't wait to see where that character goes, and then that character has to come on the show one time
Yeah.
to interview Patriot Pete.
Yeah, he does some whiskey. He might dip. So the funny thing about the character, like, so the video that we shot, the very first video, what he was saying is so ridiculous and crazy. But what I thought would be even funnier in my mind, I think this is hilarious, is as he's saying this ridiculous stuff, he would be spitting in his dip cup,
Oh God.
but he wouldn't hide it. It would just be like dripping down the chin.
Oh Lord.
And he would never clean it up. And so throughout the 9-minute video of him ranting about stuff, he just every now and then will take a break and dip, and it just gets drippier and drippier and
Oh
drippier.
God.
I
I'd
saw that
throw
video.
up.
Yeah, I think it's the funniest thing. That
No,
was
and-
my favorite part of the whole thing.
I feel like I'd be like, oh.
Yeah.
What else do you want to tell us that's important? Dating life.
Yeah, I mean, I go out to eat, and I'll have the girl of the week or whatever. But I try not to. I'm really busy, so it's very it's difficult to maintain because I'm always doing something. Like just coming here today was a whole ordeal, to do your show.
I'm sorry.
I flew in. No, I'm just kidding. No, no, but we're really busy and we're really focused. So I do go out probably once a week or every couple of weeks with whoever. But yeah.
Not anything serious
No.
at this point.
Yeah,
I feel like
Would-
I hear that a lot.
Would you like to? Like,
not right now.
Not
no.
right now.
There, when I'm slower, then yeah, and I think it's more out of boredom, which I don't think is a good foundation for dating. Yeah, but that's when I'll settle down for a little bit, and then I get bored and I want to start something else. So they're either with it or against it,
Yeah.
And but yeah, right now I just enjoy going out. I love going out to eat.
You do?
Yeah,
What's
that's
your-
my favorite thing.
Like, what's your favorite? Where do you
Restaurant?
Like to go? Yeah.
Fearings at the Ritz-Carlton is my favorite.
I've never been there.
Really good. But that's my favorite. I try to treat myself or whoever I'm with. It's been a little bit more difficult to do once a week, like the past couple of months. So I'll do like maybe every other week or something like that.
But you like the nice restaurant.
Yeah,
That's
I just like
a
any
very
restaurant with
nice
any good
restaurant.
foods.
Yeah.
Like we were at Honor Bar this weekend. That's not a super nice restaurant, but I like
Good.
Highland Park and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Oh, they have the best crab salad.
They do.
On a bar?
Yep.
Yes, it's
Really?
so good. I get it every time.
My
I
favorite
go.
is a trout dip.
Oh, I haven't had that.
It's so good.
That
I will
sounds
crave it and I'll go
good.
there and get the trout dip.
Honor Bar is really good.
That sounds really good,
Gotta
actually.
check
Now
it
I'm
out.
craving that.
Yeah.
Mm.
Thanks, Michael.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's so great. Tell them I sent you. They'll give you I get a kickback.
Would you do segments with us?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Let's do question of the day.
All right.
The Two Posh Girls ask the question of the day.
All right, all right, all right. So, let's see. Out of all the questions, I just saw strippers, and then I was like, okay, let me ask this one.
Strippers got him excited.
So it said, would you be mad at your fiance if they had strippers at their bachelorette party?
No.
I don't think so either.
I would.
I know.
I wouldn't think that's cool.
I don't think it's a big deal.
I don't either. It wouldn't bother me at all. I can give a better dance than any stripper anyway.
There you go. What about you guys?
I'm just waiting on Gino so I'll be like, yeah, what he said. Yeah.
I mean, I would become somewhere in the middle. I'd be on the fence.
So say you were going to get married and your fiance had a bachelorette party and you didn't know, but her friends got like this guy's.
I'd feel very weird about it.
Yeah.
But
I
it's
feel
like
weird
such
about
a thing. I mean, I had a bachelorette party and a midget stripper came.
Oh my God.
And then it was
See, I would
very
be okay with
funny.
that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And then
It's not
I don't.
competition.
Right.
People go to La Bear.
Well, I mean, from my size, it probably is, yeah.
I feel you.
But then, girls will go to La Bear. It's like so harmless to me. I feel like it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, especially if they didn't know, and the...
Yeah, it's like you're in
That's
trouble.
true.
I mean,
No,
That's true.
That's fair.
Yeah. I think it's one thing like if, it's a bachelorette party or bachelor party, but then it's another thing like if you go regularly.
yeah, of
you know,
course.
And then it becomes a problem.
See, I think it only is a problem when it's like this group of guys that go to Miami on a yacht and then they bring in strippers.
Right.
did you have this personal experience? That was very, very, very
specific.
specific.
I didn't have it, but I heard
It's
of
this
it.
guy who's in
Boats and
Miami.
hoes.
I wouldn't be okay with that.
I think it's funny though that my mom says that when for years when I was younger, my mom was getting strippers consistently for her friends. Monkey strippers for my dad with tassels, like a real monkey stripped for my dad.
A monkey?
A monkey. It's the funniest
Chimpanzee.
video I've ever
Oh my
seen.
God.
It's a chimp.
And then my mom and her friends had a stripper couple. There's this photo, you guys, of me, and I'm in a pink, like, foofy, like, quinceanera dress. I'm little, and all of her friends are together, and there's two strippers there stripping at a club, and or at a house, and I'm just standing there like it's normal.
That's
where it all
that
began.
story is only partially true.
I've seen the photo.
Has one stripper.
Okay,
and
the
it was
guy.
for Larry.
But weren't they a couple, the girl and the
It
guy?
was just a policeman stripper.
But didn't you guys have a...
We had this came
Wait.
about.
So how are you not okay with strippers then the
yeah,
other
that's
way?
what I'm saying.
Well, that's because, like what you just said, I changed my answer. I said
Oh.
when you didn't know, it's fine. Like it's funny as a gag kind of thing. But when you plan it, like I just said, that's what my thought was.
Or they're all going to Vegas and the whole plan is to go down.
yes.
That's
Yeah,
a whole thing I would
that's
have a
weird.
problem
Right.
with. Yeah.
Or to Miami on a yacht with
Yeah.
all the girls. Not okay with that.
Who
I
did
feel
that?
something happened.
I know.
Not me.
And the yacht's name was...
They're in Miami on
Yeah.
a yacht.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Really funny. No, but we did have someone got me a stripper for my birthday, and it happened to be this guy who had the same birth date as me, and then we got him as a joke for all my friends' birthdays. Like he would
Yeah, it's
show up
funny.
everywhere. He was just like our stripper friend, and then his girlfriend, we would start getting her for all the guys for their
Yeah.
birthdays. He was just funny.
It's hilarious.
I've had, I think, 2 of my exes, but they told me, they're like, hey, this is the scenario that's happening. It wasn't like I find out 3 weeks later, oh, yeah, we had a stripper at the house. Like,
Or you
that's
find out
where-
on Instagram or
Yeah,
Snapchat.
that's where I'd find it weird. But
Yeah.
yeah. like, that's fine.
Yeah, that's funny.
Communication.
Actually.
Yeah.
Communication.
Communication.
All
It's
right.
middle.
We have the board that comes back.
Wait, I need to erase anal rimming real quick.
Good.
Wait, let's get that
We
one
are
off.
now erasing anal.
It doesn't come off.
Permanent marker.
No, I just have to make it. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
Oh God.
Are you sure that wasn't a permanent marker?
Yeah, it's a dry. It kind of started, but
All right.
Am I spinning it again?
Go
Or
ahead,
is Michael
Gino.
spinning it?
No, Gino, this board is for you.
Yes.
This is
This is your idea.
And you get to do this.
I would
all
do
the
it, but I
time.
have a broken leg.
yeah.
This is Party with Miss Polly segment. Go. Let's see, Gino, what you get. Good luck.
The price is right.
Ain't no ribbing again?
Stop.
I tried to erase it.
It again.
Say it on the microphone.
Yeah.
Yes, no, maybe, period, sex.
I like when Gino says it.
My answer would be yes, no, maybe.
Yes, no, or maybe.
Yeah,
You just are in between.
Yeah. Just depends on the situation.
I mean, she can't get her pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. I find it odd and immature if men are weird about it, to be honest. Not that big of a deal.
I don't think it's kind of a little messy.
I just have a towel.
Yeah.
And it's so easy.
So you don't have those towels?
Extra lube.
You're not stocked up on the towels?
Like the tide of Omaha Beach.
I just think it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
That is not a big deal. I don't
No.
think.
But
You picked a good
strippers
one
are.
for this episode. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
It was a
was
Jesus.
safe one.
That was
That
pretty
one was an
safe.
easy one.
Yeah.
We tried to kind of balance it.
Thank you.
For Gino.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Michael, do you like them a little more tame also?
I'm sorry, what?
Do you like the questions a little
Oh,
bit
yeah.
more tame?
Yeah, for this kind of stuff, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, if we were out somewhere, I would be talking, but I'm very cautious about, where is this
Yes.
broadcasting and all
Yes.
that
What
stuff,
about at a table with your mom and sister?
See, I understand your
Thank you.
concern about the whole thing. Yeah, I'm
Michael's
Team
on
Gino.
your side.
Michael.
Yeah,
Team
I'm gonna come up with a
Michael.
shirt. Yeah,
Yeah. Team Gino,
So-
Team Michael.
yeah,
Michael, have you noticed I like to make Gino as uncomfortable? as
yeah, and
possible?
I
Yeah,
love
You
it,
do it,
Yeah.
but I also feel
well.
bad.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm in the middle too. I feel
Right.
it. Yeah.
like it's good for the show.
Yeah, it's great.
My uncle was on one time, my mom's brother, and we were talking about
Dad was
sex injuries, and he put sunglasses on. He was putting
was
stuff on
trying
his
to
head. He was trying to hide. He's like, "Oh my god, it's my niece!" I'm like freaking out. It's very funny.
The more he was freaking out, the worse she got. It was
Yeah.
hilarious.
I just like to make people uncomfortable.
Gossip segment. Does anyone have any gossip? Michael, do you have any gossip?
No,
Michael
I know.
doesn't strike me as a gossip person.
But if I did know something, I would tell everyone anyway.
Okay.
So it's a very open book, so I don't have any.
You don't know anybody, anything? Like nothing? You in the big world, LA and everything? Nothing? You know?
Yeah, nothing.
Mm.
Because usually I don't pay attention too. That's it. Somebody could tell me something and I'm not paying attention whatsoever.
You
Yeah.
don't know it's
Yeah.
gossip?
I'm eating my burger.
I don't know any either. Cruz, do you?
Country club
Yeah.
tennis affairs are going strong. I know about that stuff.
Ooh, really?
Oh yeah, multiple coaches.
What?
Yeah.
Married women,
No.
coaches. Oh yeah.
What?
Did they get fired for that?
You tennis coaches, man.
Not me. Never. But it's rampant. It's going on.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Lots of married women get extra lessons.
I thought you were going to say lap dances.
They get extra lessons.
That
with
has
some of the pros.
always
Wow.
happening. Always.
Mm-hmm.
They're bored at home
Mm.
with their husband, probably an old husband, and they just want a young tennis pro
At the country club.
at the country club.
Yeah.
Gina,
I
are you
have some-
sure you're not?
I'm positive.
I have some big gossip, but that comes next episode.
Oh,
Um,
cliffhanger.
yeah, cliffhanger.
Give us something.
Oh, just a crazy situation that happened to me with something like the Tinder swindler, but that was
And mom was really brave because I thought this person was going to maybe murder her.
Was this on a boat in Miami?
In a bar.
Well, say that again. Thank you, Michael, for coming on the show.
No,
Finally,
thank you for having me. Yeah.
Thank
I
you,
want
Michael.
Patriot Pete to come back, but give everyone your social media handles where they
Oh.
can find you.
So my personal ones I'm never really on, but mine are just at Michael Zavala everywhere, Zavala. And then the show is mznow.tv. You can go there and get all the links and stuff. And then the studio is mzstudiosdallas.com.
Best studio ever. You
Well,
thank
guys
you.
need to come here and support this amazing
It's just a world. It's a playground. I like to describe it as a playground of creatives. We're all just building something and helping each other out. That's what it's all about.
Yes. And everyone follow us on all our social media platforms as well, and tell your friends and family about us. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.